Belgium, and other top European football stars. No matter where you are, StarTimes is here for you. You can enjoy all these matches.
Attacks on schools and kidnapping of students are taking a huge toll in the northern part of Nigeria. Statistics from the United Nations Children Education Fund, UNICEF, indicates that not less than 5,330,631 students in states in that part of Nigeria have had their education disrupted. This situation has further compounded the out-of-school situation in the country as parents withdraw their children from schools to evade attacks and kidnappings. Since 2014, when the first mass abduction of 276 school children by Boko Haram elements took place in Chibok, Borno State, there have been many other similar incidents across northern parts of the country. From Dapchi in Yobe State, Kankara in Katsina State, Kagara in Niger State, and Jangebe in Zamfara State, cases abound of armed bandits abducting school children for ransom. Recently, several schools in Kaduna State have also witnessed cases of abduction and murder. Just yesterday, about 140 students of Bethel Baptist High School on the outskirts of Kaduna were abducted by armed bandits. Following this security threat, 13 schools in Kaduna State identified as vulnerable have been directed to close down. Now, how can this unfortunate trend be surmounted? This is our focus on this edition of the program. I'm Dennis Adigunloye. Welcome to Nigeria Today. All right, with me in the studio to discuss safe schools, we have a security expert in person of Dominion Adjom. Glad to have you on the program once again.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you were here a few weeks ago and this very same issue was on the front burner, and now we're seemingly nowhere near making significant progress. Just yesterday, over 100 students were abducted from Bethel Baptist High School, Damishi. Just as your security experts, give us your take on this situation and this latest development.
Well, actually, it's really a sad event. It's something nobody is happy about, especially when you consider what the parents of these children will be going through, what the children themselves in the hands of these bandits will be going through. So I know our security agencies have been trying their best to the point of sometimes having to sacrifice their lives. But then I think more has to be done for us to be able to reduce this to the barest minimum or bring it to a total end, because it is already making schools or schooling to become, something nobody will be interested in. Like you rightly said, most parents would prefer to have their children alive than to risk their lives in schools. So I think measures should be put in place, and one of those measures is something I know the parents are already doing right now, which as we proceed I'll let us understand, because it's very important.
How is it that over 100, in your view, students can be carted away without any resistance of any kind from security in schools or general security around the premises?
Well, I think that can be attributed to the fact that we have still been saying this as business as usual. We are yet to sit up. We are not being proactive. We are not being vigilant. We are not being alert. We just relaxed, and we have these people, like I will always say, these people don't fall from the sky. drop in the school and cut away with this with these children. These people come from somewhere. I'm sure they must cover some distance. And like we learned, some of them come with motorbikes and everything. Motorbikes, of course, you know, they make some noise and everything. Where do they pass through all the way to get to the schools? If we are watchful, if we are vigilant, and we learn to beef up securities, knowing that this is what is actually happening today in our society, you will agree with me that by the time they take off from wherever, they should be cited by one or two persons. That is the reason why we should understand and let everybody within the community to understand that security is a collective responsibility. You never can say whose child is going to be carried away. So whether you're on your way to the farm, whether you are anywhere, once you sight movements that are suspicious, I mean, it is very, very important you relate that to the relevant authorities so that they will be able to intercept them when it is yet early, so that they don't get to actualizing their wicked enterprise.
Yeah, when you were here a few weeks back, we talked quite extensively about intelligence gathering and how the community itself has its own significant role to play in combating this menace. How far do you think we've gone in terms of collaboration between the security agencies and the community?
Well, I think this is at this point in time, I would like to let us know that even the parents themselves are becoming very, very concerned. As I talk to you right now, NAPTA, National Parents Teachers Association of Nigeria, are no longer at ease with what is happening, because these are the parents of these children. Because of that, they are currently going into serious partnership with the hunters. You know, we have the Hunters Council of Nigeria today, and these people are ready to ensure that they match these people one-on-one. You will agree with me that most of these armed bandits, they operate with diabolical means and everything and all whatnot. And you know, they say send a thief to catch a thief. Yeah. There are some hunters too who are traditionalists. So this time around, they say enough is enough. What we are having on ground right now, the parents have met with the hunters and said, why must this continue? We're talking about these people operating from the ungoverned space, that is the forest. You are the masters of the forest, and of course you will agree with me that no bandit from anywhere will know the forest of a particular state, like Kaduna for instance, better than the hunter within the community, within Kaduna. So we have been able to put together, bringing the parents together, bringing the hunters together to say, look, let's do something about this. Let's do something to complement the efforts of the government, the efforts of the security agencies. And what is that thing we've agreed to do? The hunters are currently recruiting to deploy armed men to schools to take over the security of schools. And these hunters that we will position in schools to beef up security in schools are going to be working in synergy with the hunters within the community, as well as those ones in the ungoverned space, that's at the forest. And all of them together will be working in synergy with the security agencies, so that by the time these people take off from wherever they are taking off, targeting whichever school they are targeting, there will be noticed by one of these groups. And once they are noticed, they communicate to others, and the information will go around up to the relevant security agencies, so that before they even get to where they are headed, they would have perhaps intercepted them on the way or ambushed them, so that instead of them successfully carrying out this wicked enterprise, they will be repelled right on the way.
Absolutely, that's definitely a good initiative there. All right, thanks for that. In terms of all right, I'm hearing that our second guest, which we do have, is now available. Shehu Usman Mohammed, Kaduna State Commissioner for Education. If you're hearing me, welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you very much.
All right, just yesterday, over 100 students abducted from Bethel Baptist High School. Just give us an update on the current situation on the kidnap, and update us on any developments so far.
Yes, that is true. Students were kidnapped from the Bethel Baptist School. This is one of the schools that we visited several times. We made security assessments several times since the first experience we had in the state. And each time we tried to ensure that we draw the attention of school management on different elements of security that they should look at. First, we normally look at the internal security architect of the institution. We also look at, the nearness of that institution to the nearest security outpost, military, police, and the rest, and also the distance it will take any security people that are intending to provide some rescue operation into an institution. Maximum, we say 20 minutes from the point of, and also we try to look at how secured is the school, is it fenced or otherwise. We also look at the level of awareness of the proprietors, the teachers, and the students, and advise them to do some mock demonstration in case something happened. Many times, you find to prove that they are very prepared, they are ready, but bandits usually change their tactics when they are going. In all the three cases we have in the School of Forestry, in Greenfield University, and this institution, the tactics has been different. The way they do it is different. The approach has been different. It's unfortunate. Just like you had, we have closed down the school, not only that school, with 11 others that are prone to that. You may recall sometimes ago, the first time or the second time we went around, particularly to public institutions, we moved some of them from where they are to a more safer environment. If you may recall, in your local government, we moved Dr. Shehu Lawal Giwa Girls Science Secondary School to Zaria, the former WTC, that's Government Girls Science Secondary School, Zaria. We move our students from Government Girls Secondary School, Mararaba Kubo, to GGSS Suba sometimes ago. We also move some students from Technical School Abet to Technical School Malali, and so on and so forth. And we also closed down some private schools that are actually at the outskirts of the town. So each one came with its different nature. It's unfortunate, but what we have done is closed down all the schools that are at the outskirts in Kaduna, and have advised them on what to do in case they want to open within. And the security teams are actually studying the situation and will advise us appropriately against a future occurrence.
About 26 of the abducted students have been rescued. What is their state of mind and general well-being, given what they've been through?
Again?
26 students, we understand, have so far been rescued. Give us an idea of how they are mentally and how they've coped with the traumatic experience that they have gone through.
Yes, the security team were able to arrive at the scene immediately when they got the distress call, and a number of them, a reasonable number of them, were rescued back to the school, and they are back into with their parents. And the security have intensified their effort in the search for the rest. They have followed them, and I hope and pray that we'll succeed in bringing them back. Some also dispersed and ran away in different directions, and they are being collected later. Some of them at their parents' houses, some in police stations, some have gone to houses very close to them. It's an ongoing exercise. I'm sure later on, maybe by tomorrow on, security, internet security and Home Affairs will make a statement on that.
Mr. Shehu, there is clearly proliferation of kidnappings in the north, and schools are becoming soft targets. How, in your view, has things degenerated to such a state there in Kaduna?
How? Sorry, the last statement.
How do you believe things have degenerated to this point in Kaduna State with all these kidnappings in schools? Why has it got to this point?
Well, Yes, there is general trend, and it's on the increase. But it's unfortunate. I think the big to stop people from going to school, and that we will not allow. The issue that has been coming on board is for us to close schools. We will not attack based on its circumstances and the nature it came, and with full advice of the security team who are always on ground. It's unfortunate. It's not only Kaduna State, many states, but what is so critical is for us to understand that we need to do much more than some of the institutions are doing. One key thing I will commend from some of the schools is that not they have they have security personnel in the institutions armed. They also have the school well fenced. But one key institutions to do is to build some observation posts that are from wherever they are. And also we encourage institutions to have community relationship with the communities around the schools, so that any suspected around the school from the communities coming through the community, the school should be alert security operatives. And again, we are of the opinion that schools that are completely at the outskirts of towns and very close to forest and bushy environment should convert to day schools and go in the morning and come back when it is still bright in the afternoon, rather than to insist on boarding their students. This will reduce that, because most of these attacks, and if not all, they do it in the night, and they target boarding schools. And I think if they heed this, if they take this advice, I think it's going to reduce drastically around our institutions. We are currently doing a holistic security assessment of all the institutions again for the third or fourth time. And with the advice of the security team, as I said at the beginning, we'll be able to come up again with another strategy. We encourage all of them to find a second solution, plan B, so that they can continue their studies. We don't want at any cost students stop going to school, and because that will be more dangerous than what is happening now.
All right, thank you, Mr. Shehu, for that update from there in Kaduna State. You're on to the program Nigeria Today. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break. All right, you're welcome back. The program is Nigeria Today. If you are just joining us, we are talking about securing schools. We have Dominion Ajom security experts with us here in the studio, and joining us via Zoom, Shehu Usman Mohammed, Kaduna State Commissioner for Education. Let's come back to our guest here in the studio, Mr. Dominion. The Kaduna State government has always been consistent in its no payments of ransom for kidnapped victims. Give us your perspective on this policy.
Well, I think I want to agree with them that payment of ransom will rather make the business look lucrative. Will rather make kidnappers feel, they can continue on and on and on. So rather than encouraging payment of ransoms, I'm of the view that they should rather beef up security, put machineries in place to be able to counter this rather than encouraging it. That's what I think.
All right, let's bring that question to our guest on Zoom, Shehu Usman. The Kaduna State policy on no payments of ransom for kidnappings. Give us your perspective on that as well.
Our
No
stand
payment,
on this
no payment of
has been
ransom
very clear.
policy by the Kaduna State government. Give us your thoughts on that.
Our stand on this has been very clear, very well clear long ago, that we don't support payment of ransom to kidnappers. It's like you are empowering them. You are telling them do more, you get more money. What we are encouraging parents to do is to heed to the advice we are giving them. Proprietors of schools should adhere to the security tips and the advice of the security team. We have never supported that and will not support that. We appeal to bandits and their sponsors, wherever they are, to understand that every day may be their own, but just one day will be against them, and they will be trapped. Certainly, they will be arrested, and they will face the wrath of the law. We will not encourage anybody to pay ransom, because if you do that, certainly it's the same money you've given they will use to go and buy arms and continue and find it very profitable for them to continue. We encourage parents to endure and understand the security agencies so that they will do their best to rescue their children in a very, very tactful and strategic manner rather than to pay ransom. I know it's painful. It's painful when you have your child held with the kidnappers for this. You will assume government is not doing. That's a total assumption, which is not correct. Every day, every hour, every minute, the security teams and government officials are thinking of the best way, the safest way to rescue anybody that is in the hands of the bandits. But you may not know, and it's not something that will come out every day and start broadcasting, because it is not only the parents that are listening, also the bandits are listening to your strategy. Like what we are doing in school and what we are going to secure at school is something that when people are asking us to say no, there are some information that are for general consumption, but there are some information that are very strategic. It has to be just owned by us. So I want to use this opportunity to employ parents to bear with government and the security agencies never to submit to payment of ransom, either openly or behind the scene, just because you want to rescue your child. It may not be only your child there. There are some other children there that their parents will not be able to do that. And once you do that, you are just encouraging them, and you are making them to say, okay, since X have paid, Y must pay. And we are against that in totality.
All right, thank you for that, your perspective there. All right, Mr. Dominion, just give us your closing remarks. How can this situation be improved once and for all, and so we don't go back to seeing these consistent spates of kidnappings?
Well, like I will always say, security is a collective responsibility. So members of the community should get involved more in the community policing. Already the hunters, the vigilante, and others are already into community policing. They should go more into intelligence gathering. They should get to a point that in security we believe that every stranger, until it is proven otherwise, is a suspect. So they should see every stranger they see within their vicinity as a suspect until they prove otherwise. And once they see such people, they should report to the relevant agencies so that those people could be properly vetted. Now, when people are accepted in the communities, landlords, we should have something like landlords association. Before you give somebody a house to live in your place on rent or whatever, you should be able to vet the person, conduct due diligence, know who exactly he is, what he does, why he is relocating to that community. When hoteliers too are admitting people, they should not just target the money they are going to make out of these people. They should know who these people are, why are they here, what are they here to lodge for. They should know. And of course, like it is done in the hoteling system, they have to provide relevant information of these people to the relevant security agencies. They should be able to do that, and the security agencies should not just accept that information and keep quiet. They should be able to know why are these people lodging here, especially when you see them in numbers that are unusual and they are not there for any special or recognized program. They should be properly vetted. That way they'll be able to reduce this.
Definitely. All right, Dominion Adjom, security experts. Once again, thanks for being with us on Nigeria Today, giving us your expertise on these security matters in schools. And thanks also to Shehu Usman Mohammed, Kaduna State Commissioner for Education. Many thanks for taking the time to be with us and sharing your perspectives with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thanks to you out there for always keeping this date with us. Nigeria Today is live every weekday at 7:30 in the evening. Also watch this and other editions of the program on youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. I am Dennis Adigmo.